Hola. So in this video we're going to see reflexive verbs. The reflexive verbs for some people could be a little bit complicated because they are not like really, they don't really exist an exact translation of what it is in English. So I'm gonna try to be as clear as possible. First of all, grammatically, the reflexive verbs ends in se, okay? So anything the verb in infinitive ends in se is reflexive. So for example, ducharse, if you ever saw this. And to be honest, the reflexive verbs, you just have to add, a pronoun before. If it's nobody know what is a pronoun, is me, te, okay? Yo, tú, él, right? Nosotros, ellos. And then you see me, te, él, se, nosotros somos, y ellos son. So, and then the actual conjugation is like any regular verb. So duchar, how do you do the present tense of duchar? So yo ducho, right? Tú duchas, él ducha, nosotros duchamos, which means to shower. Duchamos y ellos se duchan. Sorry, yeah, I don't know what is it. El, me, nosotros, nos. Sorry about this one. Y ellos se. Okay, so you see, you always just have to add this pronoun and then add the same conjugation. In the past, right? How would be duché, duchaste, right? Duchaste, duchó, duchamos, and ducharon. This doesn't change. Ducharon. And so grammatically, this is the concept. So, but you're going to say how I'm going to know like which one is reflexive and how not, right? So at the beginning, what I'm gonna ask you is like to get familiar, like I always say for anything that we see in class, to get familiar with the ones that are most common in your life, okay? And we're gonna see that in class. So the most common in your life, of course, will be to shower, to what else? And to go to bed, acostarse, to wake up. There are very many common ones that we're going to see. So in that sense, don't worry. Once you get familiar, because not another thing that all my students really confused to is like they think everything from now on is reflexive. I know, like comer, to eat, is still comer. It's not comerse, So with that note, I want to tell you first there's 3 types of reflexive, okay? So that is important. So if you're my student, you probably know where to go. So A2.1 class is A2.1 class 2. And so here you have, for example, the most common ones that I was talking to you about. We're gonna go with that in a second. But first of all, what you have to know is a reflexive verb is a verb, okay, that is different than the rest, right? That's clear. That is different than the rest, and that is used with the me, te, se at the beginning. So this is like the whole class that we see, right? If you were my students, you know what I'm talking about. But see here, levantarse, for example, me, te, se, no, se, okay? So in that case, like, you know that it always is this type of verbs. But not all of them are like that. So we see that in a second. But first, let's see the type of reflexives we have. The first one is actions that you perform on yourself or to somebody else. So, for example, I'm asking you, ¿cuál es la diferencia? What is the difference? Yo me baño a la mañana o yo baño a mi perro una vez por semana. Can you tell me the difference? Well, in this case, is one, you do it to yourself, see? And the other one, you do it to somebody else. So, if you say, yo me baño, I shower myself or bathe myself, sorry, bañarse. And yo baño a mi perro is I bathe my dog. Okay, so that's the first type of reflexive. I'm gonna show you a little bit, like in class we can do it like in more detail, and we can study the vocabulary together, but here just with regards to time, so I can be more practical, I'm just gonna show you the ones that are the most common ones, which is the first type of reflexive that you can do to yourself or to somebody else. So for example, yo en bañarse, sorry, first is bañarse, to bathe yourself. It's not bañarse. Let me see if I have, yeah, I have the dictionary here in Spanish. So bañarse. Okay, so ducharse. This is to bathe yourself, to take a shower. Sorry, but this doesn't exist in the other one. Acostarse, to go to bed. So yo me acuesto is the reflexive verb. Y acostar is to put somebody to bed. So for example, acostarse is to go to bed, and when you acostar somebody else, is like you put them to bed. Someone to bed. So you do it to somebody else. You put yourself to bed or you put somebody else to bed. So for example, in the ones that is the reflexive one, you have to say yo me acuesto, like we did it here. Yo me acuesto, tú te acuestas. Try to though remember that it's key, in my opinion, to remember which is the present tense of acostar, which in this case acostar is irregular in the present and regular in the past. So acostar is with reflexive is me acuesto in present tense. Sorry, acostarse present tense, and acostar is the same but without the me. You see, acostar without the se, acostar without the se, so non-reflexive. Look up the only difference. La diferencia is yo acuesto, you see, a mi hija, to my daughter, o yo me acuesto. So me acuesto, I put myself to bed or I put my daughter to bed. Yo me acuesto, tú te acuestas. Tú acuestas, you see, a tu hija, you put your daughter to bed, and so on. Él se acuesta, he puts himself to bed. Él acuesta a su hija, he puts his daughter to bed. Acuesta a su hija. Okay? So, and then with regards to the same one, but in the past tense, would be, por ejemplo, yo, you see, me acosté, o tú acostaste a tu hija. This one is regular. So that's the option. Then I will show you like a lot of them, and I want you to, for homework, if you can put them in the reflexive way and non-reflexive way, like I just did in these ones. This is the first type, the one that you can do to yourself or to somebody else. So I'm gonna show you now the type of verbs and do it at home, okay? So type of verbs that you can do to yourself or to somebody else is well, acostarse, we already saw, to lay down, to put somebody to bed. And afeitarse means to shave. Bañarse, to bathe yourself. Ducharse, no, because if you put a dog under the shower, he's gonna run. So you can do it just to yourself. The idea of to shower is to bathe yourself, right? So then the other one, cepillarse el pelo, yes, you can do it to yourself and somebody else. Cepillarse los dientes also. Let me show you how you write it down in Spanish, sorry, it's gonna be easier. So I said acostarse, afeitarse, bañarse, ducharse no, no, cepillarse, yes, cepillarse los dientes. Then despertarse, you can wake somebody up and you can wake up yourself. Vestirse is to get dressed, y desvestirse to get undressed, and you can do that to somebody else or to yourself. Enojarse, no. And that's it for now. And enfermarse, no. We'll see that you cannot do to somebody else. Okay, so let's go to the second type of reflexive now then. Okay, second type of reflexives is the ones that, for example, let's see an example here. It's better than to see in the class. So second type. So, ¿cuál es la diferencia? Which is the difference? Yo despido a mi empleada, which comes from despedir, which means to fire, or yo me despido de mi amigo. So, this one means to say goodbye, and this one means to fire an employee. So, what is the difference? The difference is the actions change in meaning. So, this reflexive, if you put it as a non-reflexive, it means a completely different stuff, or has a different meaning. So for example, despedir means to fire, y despedirse to say goodbye. So what is the difference between these two? First of all, that means different, have different meanings, and obviously the one that is treated as a reflexive, you had to put the me before it. So por ejemplo, despedir, it just go without the pronoun now. So, yo despedí a mi empleado. I fire my employee. Tú despediste a tu empleado. You fire your employee. Él despidió, is irregular, okay? It's E to I. Despidió a su empleado. Nosotros despedimos a nuestro empleado. We fire our employee. Empleado. And ellos despidieron a su empleado, which means to fire somebody else. So ellos they fired an employee. Now let's do despedirse, which means say goodbye. So yo me despedí de mi hermana. It means I said goodbye, literally. I said goodbye to my friend. It's a little more formal than saying adios, okay? It's just saying that I said goodbye to my friend. So, yo me despedí de mi hermana, tú te despediste de tu hermana, you say goodbye to your sister, and so on. Él se despidió de su hermana. Okay, now try to do the same with this type of verbs. This type of verbs are also different meaning, have also different meanings. So for example, ir, okay, means to go. And irse means to leave, like a complete different meaning. One is to leave, is the opposite, right? The other one that is useful to know is encontrar, which means to find. Encontrar, which means to find. Y encontrarse means to meet up. Encontrarse, meet up. So, por ejemplo, yo me encontré, you see, con mi amiga. I met with my friend. And this one is yo encontré dinero, for example. I found money. Encontré, with an accent. Encontré dinero. Okay? So, another one that could be useful also, it could be levantar, means to lift, like pesas or something. Yo levanté pesas, which means the pesas are the ones in the gym, you know, the weights, weights. Okay. Then levantarse, remember levantarse is to wake up or stand up. We use it equally the same. Wake up and stand up. Por ejemplo, levantarse. Por ejemplo, yo me levanté a las 8 de la mañana hoy, for example, mañana, okay? Then the other one that I found important to learn is conocer, conocer, no, conocer, no, not yet. Let's see. Well, if I can think about another one, I will let you know. The ones that I put in here in the class was just irse and levantarse. Oh, sí, sorry. Now I remember another one. Quedar versus quedarse. This one is important. So quedar means to stay or remain. Y quedarse. Y quedar con means to arrange with, o schedule with. Por ejemplo, yo quedé con una amiga en ir al cine. Like arrange with a friend or schedule with a friend to go to the theater. Y quedarse with a reflexive es yo me quedé like en mi casa. I stayed home. Okay? That's the second type of reflexive. That means different things, okay? And then the third type of reflexive, I'm running out. The third type is the one that only exists in reflexive. For example, you see here, enojarse. Enojarse means to get mad. Enojarse. But it doesn't exist enojar. Actually, you can make someone mad, but you see that even in English you use another verb. You use make. You don't use mad. I'll mad you, right? I make you mad. The same happens in Spanish. So, for example, enojarse, reflexive. Yo me enojé con mi amiga. I don't know. I got mad with my friend, okay? But enojar is like yo enojé a mi amiga. No. You cannot say this. So this one is a no. So yo hice, like I made, hice enojar a mi amiga. I made her mad. You see? So in our examples in class, you can see, for example, if you can do it to, if it doesn't exist in another thing that is non-reflexive. For example, parecerse. Parecerse means to look alike. You cannot have this verb parezco a. You cannot make someone look like you, but I mean, I guess you can, but you don't use make. You parecerse only exists in reflexive. See? So parecerse, again, I will show you the Spanish version. And let me see. So there, parecerse. Aburrirse, you can bore somebody else, so exists in both reflexive. It's the first type that exists in reflexive and non-reflexive. Then, but let's use the only ones that exist only in reflexive. And besides enojarse, tenemos, let's see, enojarse, then parecerse, we said, alegrarse, I can make you happy, but not happy you. You know what I mean? So, enamorarse actually, again, it doesn't exist. It exists only in reflexive, because if not, you're gonna say I made someone fall in love with me, I guess, but it's just in reflexive. It doesn't exist enamorar. ¿Qué más? And enfermarse. Why enfermarse means to get sick. Enfermarse. But if you make someone sick, we say contagiar means to pass the illness. You see? That would be the other way around. But enfermarse is just yourself. So yo me enfermé, tú te enfermaste, él se enfermó. So what I'm asking you, maybe you can do, is that now you have an idea. Well, first of all, I want your doubts, right? Because I'm sure you're gonna have doubts. And second of all, I want you to grab all those verbs that we saw that are the most common ones, and I want you to do a version of one in present and one in past. And then I want you to practice with your language partner. And where you can get your questions, if you see here, and you see you have reflexives and then conversation questions, so you can practice this type of questions like with somebody else that is helping you to learn Spanish. So, ¿a qué hora te levantas? What time do you wake up? You see, ¿a qué hora te acuestas? So for all of these, you have to know, you see the meaning, okay? So it's very important that you get familiar with the meaning of the ones that are the most common ones, okay? So thank you.